Hey guys, Taylor here with SpraungelPerformance Marine. We just got back from Florida for our ICAST 2024 trip. We did a little bit of fishing when we were down there, went to the show 2 days, found some cool stuff. We're gonna go over some electronic stuff that we found down there that was super cool, and we're gonna throw in a little bit of fishing stuff at the end, so stay tuned. So we're going to start off with Garmin. One thing that I saw was really cool is the PS70. It's already technically been released, but basically that's your saltwater live scope. You got a 1,000-foot range. It is a fairing block mounted transducer, so it will need to be mounted in the bottom of a boat, so not ideal for the freshwater market. 120-degree cone. Basically what that means is if you're doing your quick draw contours or anything like that, you have in 300 feet of water a 400-foot range looking out either side. So you have a much bigger swath to draw your mapping. You know, it has live view down, the real view 3D, all that stuff. Really good for your offshore anglers looking for any kind of humps or ridges or wrecks or anything like that. The other one is the PS22 IF. Basically what this is a compact ice fishing live sonar unit. It does not have a pole. They have a really unique system where you basically adjust a stopper so you can turn the transducer to look whichever way you want. They also have a lens that goes on the transducer that will focus the beam and make the beam even narrower. You know, if you're trying to pick out individual fish in a school or something like that, available on a pack. That is gonna be $18.99 retail. Looks like a super great option. Moving on, Lowrance and Simrad. Biggest thing from them is the Recon trolling motor. So we're all familiar with the Ghost. This is a completely different trolling motor. It is an electric steer style trolling motor, so your smaller mounting base. It now has a joystick full function remote. There's a lot of cool features aside from just steering on the joystick, where you can basically lock the joystick back to inline the motor with the keel. Wireless foot pedal, similar to the Ghost. It's your, back and forth cable style foot pedal with buttons on the back that are removable. So if you already have a Ghost or you have, an Ultrex or a Fortrex, any cable steer style motor, this will work really well for you. Integrated live sonar mounting. They have a system to put your active target transducer on the motor along with actual mounting points on the lower unit itself. So you're not using hose clamps or anything like that. 48, 54, 60, and 72-inch shafts. This is available in both a fresh and saltwater. Simrad also offers the same motor in a saltwater only version. Self-diagnostics. That's one thing that's kind of been an issue with the Ghost trying to repair it. This motor will tell you, if there's a problem in the motor somewhere. Instead of just giving you a tone, it will tell you where the problem is, so it can easily be addressed by either a service center like me or by a consumer. I think this is going to be a really cool trolling motor for your walleye muskie anglers. The steering on this thing is fast. It is faster than all of the competitors. For you guys that like to fish off the front of the boat, it's going to be a really good option. And then you still have a head that turns so you can see it from the back of the boat. The head on the motor also lights up. Very powerful, very quiet motor. The mount is a dual locking mount, so not only does it lock in the stowed position, but it also locks when it slides back. So there's absolutely no way that this motor is going to falsely deploy on you going across the water. Just a really cool motor all around. The other thing they have is their Eagle Eye. This is really kind of an amazing product that they've got. It's a budget-friendly live sonar. So for a while it's been live sonars, it's out of my budget, I can't really afford it. Well, Lowrance's came in with a fully integrated system that's $1,000. It comes with a 9-inch unit and a live sonar transducer that also does 2D and down imaging along with mapping. It's the same crystals as the Active Target 2, it just doesn't have the same amount, so your cone isn't as wide. You have forward and down view, but it is a very, very good option for either ice fishing or your anglers on a budget that are looking to get into live sonar for cheaper. It is a standalone unit, it's not networked to anything, but if you're looking to get live sonar for a very, very cheap price, this is a good way to do it. They come with a 9-inch screen, crystal clear screen, gonna be about as good as you can possibly get for that price. The other cool thing that we saw was from Scotty. They have their Seeker. Basically, this is for you Great Lakes guys, salmon guys. It's a fish hawk replacement. Essentially what it is it has an Airmar hydrophone, kind of like the Fish Hawk does, but you can have up to 4 probes on it. So what that'll allow you to do is you can actually monitor your speed and your depth and temperature on different downriggers, you know, if you have them running at different depths and stuff like that. There isn't a screen that goes with it. It actually plugs into the back of your Lowrance or your Garmin unit. The updates to this are every 5 seconds unless you put it on thermocline mode. Now in thermocline mode, it'll give you an update 2 times a second. So that's really helpful if you're trying to find your floor, if you're trying to find your thermocline. You know, you can adjust that downrigger up and down and make sure that your baits are running absolutely perfect every time. They have like a 100-hour battery life in the probe. I think the guy told me if you charge it for 10 minutes, you get 10 hours of run time. It's got a wireless charging cradle. Super, super cool product. Obviously uses an Airmar transducer, so it's gonna be phenomenal quality. I'm really excited to see that one on the field. I've got a lot of customers that are gonna enjoy that. You know, you don't need a Scotty downrigger or anything like that. It can work as an independent system. And there are some other things they're working on with it for graph integration, kind of as, you know, time goes on. So moving on to some of the fishing stuff that I saw that was cool. Shimano has 2 new reels. They have an Oshia Jigger Lever Drag 2500. That's gonna come in a high gear and a medium gear. It's got a 44-pound drag, which is super impressive out of a compact slow pitch jigging reel. It also comes with a light line cam for you guys that are using like PE1, 1.5, 2 lines that, you know, want a little bit of a finer adjustment in the drag. 560 yard capacity of 40-pound Power Pro. You guys that are light line, slow pitch jigging know you can get way more than that on there. Available in a high gear and a medium gear. I believe the high gear was like 47 inches per crank and the medium gear was like 42. The Vanford got an upgrade. The Vanford A comes in a 500, 2000, 2500, 3000, 4, and 5000. They added some cool features that basically have trickled down from the Stella. The anti-twist fin, basically what that is, it's going to hold your line on the line roller. So for you guys that are fishing forward-facing sonar, if you're using mono or fluorocarbon as a main line, that line isn't going to be able to bow and get tied around the spool. Or you guys that are using micro thin braids and stuff like that. They added infinity drive. Basically what that is there's bushings that support the spool shaft. Makes it basically like a Stella at this point. You know, it decreases your cranking force and all that stuff. X-ship, obviously, pinion supported with bearings on both ends. Super cool reel. I think that's going to sell extremely well. You know, it's coming at that same price point Vanford was in like the mid-2s or something like that. Super smooth. I'll be getting a few of those for myself. They also have the new BT bait. Basically, that is a small jointed swim bait. It's going to be an awesome trout bait, awesome BFS bass bait, smallmouth bait, all that. They have some really nice colors. Ocean Legacy had some cool stuff. They had their HD Ultra Access swivel. Basically, they have this snap design that's a way better alternative to traditional snap swivel. You don't actually have to unlock it. You just roll the bait around it to lock it in place. They have it from 24 to 287 pound. I was playing with it at the show, pulling on the small ones as hard as I could. They're not gonna come undone for you. You know, you guys that are musky guys, or if you're popping tuna, or if you just want something to be able to quickly change baits, this is a great option. It's not gonna wear out like a traditional snap swivel is going to. Super high quality. These guys are out of, I believe, Australia. They make some super awesome stuff. They also have a welded ring and a grommet. For you jigging guys, basically it's a welded ring with a steel grommet in it, so your line isn't making such a harsh angle going around the welded ring and sliding around. It's going to increase your leader life. Bonafide has a new kayak, their XTR 130. It's a 12'7" kayak. Basically this thing is a rotomolded bass boat. It's an incredible thing to see. You can actually fish 2 anglers out of it. It's got a 730 pound weight capacity. It's been on the heavy side. I believe it's 170 pounds fully rigged out, you know, without your gear and stuff like that. You know, it's got a walkable deck. You can add a bow mounted trolling motor and a stern mounted trolling motor. You have the option to add 2 power poles to this thing. Ultimately, this thing is just a fishing machine. You know, if you need to carry in, you don't have a good boat ramp or something, or you just want to get back in those smaller places, this will be an awesome option for you. They've got some insane rigging capabilities. The one that they had the show was just completely rigged out with all sorts of crazy stuff. It was awesome to see. American Tackle, you know, some rod building stuff. They now have the JYG Tribute Blanks, which is a new rod from JYG's new slow pitch rod. Super nice blank. I felt them. I felt the built rods. They're awesome rods. I think those are going to be an absolute staple. New Fuji reel seats and a lot of new carbon options for those reel seats too. So that'll be exciting stuff to see what builders come up with that. And then Sims. They had a Pro Dry suit that looked really nice. Kind of reminded me of the older Pro Dry suit, just some more modern stuff added to it. They have a Headwater sling pack that looks nice. And they have a flyway packable wader that the wader itself will actually pack into the front pocket. So if you want to keep a pair of waders in your truck at all times or whatever, I think it'll be a great option. That's a wrap on our ICAST 2024 review. What we saw that we thought was cool, new, hip. If you saw something there that we missed, drop it in the comments. Try to get back to you. If you got any questions on any of these new products, we will be carrying all of the new electronics that you saw. You can reach us at SpraungelPerformanceMarine.com. Our phone number, email, and everything is on there. Drop us a line.